All right, let's talk about investing. And I'm going to kick this off with a pretty bold claim. Investing, for all its scary charts and confusing jargon, is actually simple. And we're going to prove that right now.
Yeah, I can already hear you. Simple? Are you kidding me? What about all those frantic charts with squiggly lines, the flashing red numbers, and the 24/7 news cycle that's always screaming about the next big crash? It feels like it was designed to be complicated, right? To keep regular folks on the sidelines?
But here's the real secret, the thing that changes everything. The logic of good investing is incredibly simple. The part that's hard, that's the emotional side. It's this constant tug-of-war between what you know you should do and what you feel like doing in a panic. That's the real mountain to climb.
Okay, so if it's so simple on paper, why does it feel so incredibly hard? Why does it seem like you need a PhD from Harvard just to get started? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer is actually pretty straightforward.
Well, imagine it this way. Most of the financial world wants to show you the equivalent of Formula One racing right out of the gate. We're talking day trading, complex options, all that crazy stuff. It's like they're trying to teach you how to drift a race car around a corner at 200 miles an hour before you've even learned how to steer or press the gas pedal. We're going to ignore all that noise and just learn the basic rules of the road.
So what's that first basic rule of the road? What's step one? And fair warning, it's super boring. But that's its superpower. That's what makes it so darn effective. Step one is simply to buy the market.
So how in the world do you buy the market? Well, you use something called an index fund. Think of it like a shopping basket that already holds a tiny piece of hundreds of the biggest and best companies out there. You know, instead of desperately searching for that one magic needle in a giant haystack, you just buy the whole haystack. Boom, done. No guesswork needed.
And this is where the logic just clicks into place. It's so elegant. Think about it. Over time, the economy tends to grow. When it does, the businesses in it grow. When they grow, the whole stock market grows. And since you own a tiny piece of all of it, you grow too. You're just riding the wave of human progress.
All right, that brings us to step number 2, invest consistently. This is built on probably the single most important phrase in all of investing, so really let this one sink in. Success comes from time in the market, not trying to time the market. Seriously, that one phrase is worth millions.
So what does that actually look like? It's really simple. You just put in the same amount of money every month from every paycheck, like clockwork. Some months you'll buy when prices are up, other months you'll catch a sale when prices are down. It all averages out. You just set it and forget it.
And that's the key takeaway here. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room to win at this. You just have to be the most consistent. That boring, automated habit, it's way more powerful than trying to be a genius who can predict the future.
Okay, step 3. This is it. This is where the simple logic we've been talking about goes head to head with our messy human emotions. You have to learn to ignore the noise. And I'm not going to lie, this is by far the hardest part.
Look, markets go down, they crash. It's not an if, it's a when. And when that happens, every single alarm bell in your body, your caveman brain, is going to be screaming, sell, get out now. This is the moment. This is the test that separates the winners from everyone else.
But that's the moment when you have to let logic take the wheel. Just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. Yeah, you see those massive, scary drops? They're terrifying. But then what happens? Every single time, it comes back. It always has. History is the best cure for panic.
And that's why when you look at who actually succeeds over the long run, it's not the brainiacs with the complex spreadsheets, it's the people who can just stay calm. The ones who can stick to their boring plan while everyone else is running around with their hair on fire. So you do those 3 things. You buy the market, you're consistent, you stay calm, and you get to unlock the reward, the payoff, what some people have called the 8th wonder of the world, the magic of compounding. This is the beautiful payoff for all that boring patience. So how does it work? It's pretty simple, actually. Your money makes a little bit of money from returns, and then that new money starts making its own money, and on it goes. It's a feedback loop where your money starts working for you. You know the best way to picture it? It's like a tiny snowball at the top of a really long hill. At first, you can barely see it, but as it starts rolling, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and faster and bigger. And after a few decades, that tiny little thing has become a massive, unstoppable force. That's your money. Okay, so let's wrap this all up. Here is the entire secret plan all in one place. Number 1, buy the market. 2. Be consistent. 3. Don't freak out. And 4. The secret ingredient. Just wait.
And that's it. That's the whole game. There are no secret handshakes, no hidden tricks the Wall Street pros are hiding from you. The most powerful tool in your entire arsenal isn't some fancy algorithm, it's just good old-fashioned patience.
So if this little explainer made the whole idea of investing feel just a tiny bit less intimidating, then that's a huge win. And hey, if you like seeing complicated stuff get broken down like this, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button.
I'll leave you with one last question to chew on. Because remember, this isn't really about numbers on a screen, it's about building a future. So the real question is, what could you build? Not with some kind of genius-level intellect, but just with a little bit of patience.